Hi folks, welcome back to Great Lakes Junction. I'm in the kitchen today and I'm making sweet relish for hot dogs, hamburgers, sausages. Thought I'd bring you along and show you this recipe. It's kind of easy, but a little bit of time consuming. So what I have here is cucumbers, and I'm de-seeding them and shredding them and adding in peppers, onions, and a few spices along with salt, sugar, and vinegar. But I'll take you through and show you the process of it. And at the end, we'll be doing some water bathing. So this will be a shelf-stable product at the end that you can keep in your pantry for a while, and saves you from running to the store and buying it. And it tastes a lot better. So I'm going to go shred everything up. I'm sure you don't want to watch that process. It's kind of boring. And I'll bring you back when we're on to the next step. Okay, we're back. I had 3 quarts of cucumbers, and they're shredded, cleaned up, de-seeded, any bad marks taken off. I also have 3 cups of green peppers and red peppers. I have a cup of onion in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the brine up. So you need 3/4 of a cup of salt. And I know that sounds like a ton of salt. And 4 cups of ice water. So you just pour that over there. And we're going to mix that all up. And then it just sits for 4 hours, actually. That'll take all the water out of the vegetables and to make it a drier mix. After that's done, then you rinse the vegetables for another hour in ice water, and then it's ready to cook up. So once that's all done, I will bring you back. Right now I'm going to clean my mess up that I made because I'm a messy cook, and have a cup of tea. So I will be back. Hi guys, I'm back. The cucumbers are all finished now. They've soaked in their salt water and all the water has released out of them. We've squeezed it dry, and we're going to make the actual brine to cook the cucumbers in, or simmer them in anyway. So we have 6 cups of vinegar, and it's for pickling. I have 2 cups of sugar, and you can use a raw sugar, and it might be a little bit better for you. And I'm using a few less of the spices that it calls for. So I've got 2 teaspoons of celery seed, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 2 teaspoons of mustard powder, because I don't have any mustard seed, but you can use the powder. I've done it before and it tastes fine. And 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And that all goes in the pot, and along with the sugar. And you bring it to a boil. I'm going to turn this on. You bring that to a boil, and then you pour it over top of the cucumbers. There's actually 2 processes you can do. One is to actually mix this up and boil it, pour it over the cucumbers, and simmer it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then you can go ahead and water bath it. The other method is to boil this for a few minutes, same as the other process, but mix it in with the cucumbers and let it sit in the fridge overnight for about 24 hours. Up to you which process you want. If you leave it in the fridge overnight or for the 24 hours, then once it comes out, you need to bring it to a boil, let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then you can water bath can the actual end product, so it's safe for a while in your pantry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to boil this. I'm going to put it in the cucumbers, and I'm going to leave it sit in my fridge overnight because it's getting really late now. And we will finish this up in the morning, and I will take you through the water bath canning process. It's quite simple, and you can see how that all works. Hi everybody, I'm back, and it's the next day, and we are just bringing our relish up to a boil. I've got everything ready to start canning as soon as it's boiling. My jars are in the big stock pot right now, and I'm just sterilizing them. When you can, you want to have everything sterilized, so there is absolutely no risk of getting botulism at all. So everything gets sterilized, all my equipment, all my utensils. I have lids back there that are being readied now to go on. I also have a big funnel that fits inside the jars. This is a magnet to pick up the lids out of the hot water. This is a poker, which I've managed to boil to death, and it bent on me, so I have to replace that sometime. And those are a big set of tongs that will fit over top of the jars to bring the jars in and out of the boiling water. So once this is all done, I'm going to bring you back and I'll show you how I go about doing the jars and getting them ready to go into the canner for the boiling process, and you can see how that works. So I'll be right back. Hopefully I've got you up high enough that you can see what's going on. I'm just filling these jars now and getting them ready to plunge into the canner. I'm filling them about ½ an inch from the top, and I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll just show you a few, what I do. Everything's warm. The jars are warm. The relish is warm. And the water in my water bath canner is also warm. If you have cold jars and you're putting hot liquid into them, just like anything else, it could break, and you don't want that. So once the product is in the jars, you want to use your debubbler, or you could use just about anything to get down there. Make sure there's no bubbles in there, because that can hinder a seal. Now I have a little bowl of vinegar here and just a paper towel, and I'm going to wipe the rims of these jars, and they are hot, so be careful when you're doing this. You don't want any debris on the rim for when you put the lids on these and the rings on them. That will hinder a proper seal. So there's the lids. Here we'll get the rings. And again, these are really warm, so be careful. I think I have asbestos hands from all the years of cooking. And it's just finger tight. Don't need to screw them down really, really tight. And that's it. And we're going to put them into the water bath canner now. There's our canner all full. So it has come up to a boil. I'm going to let it come up to a more rapid boil, and then I'm going to start timing it. And for my altitude, it's 10 minutes to boil and to seal. So once that's done and it's cooled down, I let them sit and cool down for probably 15-20 minutes after my 10 minutes boiling time is up, and then I'll pull them out, and I will bring you back to show you what they all look like when they're done. And there they are, all finished. I've just taken them out of the canner. They were in there for, oh, and there's a seal popping. And there's another one. They were in there for 10 minutes to boil, and then I left them for probably 10 or 15 minutes, turned the stove off, and let them sit for a little bit, and then I pulled them all out. And that's the finished product. There's quite a few in there, so that'll last us for quite a while, and they're awesome for gifts and whatnot for family. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about canning, leave them down in the description and I will try and help you out. If you do want to can anything, please get yourself a book. I have a book called the Amish Canning Book. I'm actually gonna see if I can find you a link for that, and I will link it down below in the description as well. Very important to follow directions and recipes when canning. We don't want to make anybody sick. So that's the video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it and it wasn't too long. And again, if you have any questions, leave them down in the description and I will try and answer them best I can. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share to a friend. Thanks again. Talk to you next time.